Okay. We are dealing with activity 3. Okay, activity 3. Let's continue. Exercise 3. Okay, so again,
So A
again,
is taking B and C. A is taking B and C and D.
I should okay. A starting with activity.
Taking B.
You can see where I put A in it.
Yes.
Okay. B by B up, and then C.
D down, C in the middle.
C down, and
C in
D,
the middle, and then D down.
and then E down.
Yes, that way.
Okay.
Yes.
And then F.
C and D.
C and D. There should be F here.
Yes.
Okay.
F.
And then
And you
okay,
take
for
F.
G.
You're doing B and
B and F.
Okay.
B and F.
B and F. We put G somewhere here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can put it somewhere there. Okay.
And then H.
H is taking E and G.
H, E,
So
and G.
It can come somewhere there.
You can put
Yes.
it somewhere here.
Somewhere there. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a sketch for the network. So now we just need to
Mhm.
put in the other format now where we do backward, forward, and backward pass. Okay, so this is our legend. Okay, it will look like something like that. It looks similar. Okay, so let's do forward pass quickly. Okay,
Two there.
three,
Two.
okay.
Two there.
Okay, let's start from B.
Two.
Is it
Two?
two? Is it two?
Three. Sorry. Three. Three. Sorry.
Okay, and then okay, 3 plus okay, 3 plus 15, 18, minus 1, 17.
17, yeah.
Okay, and again, we cannot go to G because we are not done with F yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so we need to go to, let's go to C.
C.
3.
3.
3 there.
3, okay.
12.
Okay.
12.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot go to activity F again because we need to complete.
Let's complete D.
Okay, for activity D,
3.
3 again.
3, yes.
Okay, and then
15. 15 there.
15. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, for activity F, what is your early start?
16.
14.
Yes, 16.
16.
Okay. I didn't go to this one. I went to E. Okay, we can finish this one. 3 plus 18, that's 21. Plus 1. Plus 1, it's 20.
21. 20, yes, so 20.
Yes. Okay. Activity F, it will be, you said 16.
16, yes.
Okay. 16 plus 15, 31.
30.
Minus
1.
1.
30.
30. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then we go to activity G. Early start?
30.
30.
30.
Wait. What should be a early start for activity G?
31.
31.
Yes.
31.
Okay. 31 plus
40.
40.
40.
40. Final answer 40.
40. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, now we have to compare 40 and 20. What should come here? Early start for H?
41.
41.
41. Okay.
1.
41 plus 5? 46.
46 minus 1, 45.
45. Excellent. Okay, let's do backward pass. Should be 45 still. Okay.
45, yes.
45 minus 5. 40.
40 plus 1, 41.
41. He does not have a choice. Remember?
41.
Yeah, it doesn't have a choice.
Okay. Okay, this 41, we can bring it here and here. Okay, it should come down as 40.
40.
40. Okay.
40. 40.
Okay. 40 plus 10 minus 10. 40 minus 10 plus 1.
9.
31.
40 plus
31.
5.
31.
40 minus
40 minus 10. 30 minus plus 1. 31.
31.
Okay, then we can complete this one. Activity B.
30 there.
Put 30. Okay.
30.
30 minus 15 is 15.
Plus 1, so 16 there.
16.
16.
Okay, we've put 16 there. Okay, Thomas has joined us. Okay, let's go to activity F.
30.
30.
30, okay. 30 minus 15 is 15 plus 1.
16.
16.
16.
Yeah. The other hint again, remember when you were calculating total float, that the total float that we got to this side of stats must be the same as the total float that you get from the side of finishes, isn't it? So if you get 30, 30 here, and if it's correct, this guy has no choice but to become the same also. Okay, then you can, okay, activity C.
15.
15.
Okay, plus 2 minus 1 is 5, plus 1, 6. Okay.
6.
Again here, 15. Okay.
It will be
3.
2.
3.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And activity E.
40.
40.
Yes. 40 minus 18,
Right.
2. Plus 1, 20.
20. Whoa.
How much? 40 minus 18 should be 22, isn't it?
22, yeah.
2 plus
23.
21. Plus 23.
23.
23.
23.
Yes.
23.
Okay. What should come here?
28.
What should come?
2.
22.
22.
22. Yeah.
2.
Okay.
2 years. 2 years. For 2.
Okay, so we have done a forward pass and backward pass. Okay, so
Thomas, please.
Thomas.
Focus.
Thomas, I'm making noise.
So you are the
I
one
hope
making
Thomas is
noise.
able to follow, or should we? I hope Thomas is able to follow. You can still. Am I not recording this? Let me just make sure. Pause.
Thomas is the one making noise in physical metallurgy.
It's recording. Oh, okay, it's recording. Okay, it's fine. He will still be able to go through everything again. Okay. Okay. Now let's start with the total float. Now, what is our formula for total float?
0 there.
Okay.
There also
Okay.
0.
0.
0. Where?
13.
Okay. Activity C.
3.
3.
3.
Okay.
3.
E.
0.
0.
Okay. E.
20.
20.
20.
Okay.
0.
0.
0.
Okay. Activity
0.
F.
0. 0. 0.
G. 0 and H.
0.
Okay.
0.
Which activities are on the critical path?
A,
B,
B, G, H.
D. F.
F.
Yeah, A, D, F,
G.
G, H.
and H.
Okay. A, D, F, G, H. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's calculate free float for activity G. Activity G is this one.
Go to 1.
41 minus
Minus 1.
Minus
1.
40.
Minus 40.
Minus
That's
1 is 0.
1.
0.
Is
Minus 1, 0. Yes.
It's 0, ne?
Yes,
Yeah.
0.
What does it mean, sir?
It means, okay, the free float for this activity, for activity G, is 0. It means this activity, we cannot afford to delay it without interfering with the early start date for activity H. Yeah. It means if you just interfere, if you just delay this activity by anything more than 0 days or whatever time duration they're using, it means you're gonna end up affecting or you're gonna end up affecting or delaying activity H's early start date. Okay, you can go. Okay, so I also got 0, like you said. Okay, activity. Okay, another activity 4. Okay, it's the same question. Okay, let's sketch the network diagram quickly. Activity, start off with
So
A.
A is going with B, C.
B
A
and
is taking
C.
C.
Okay, what else?
A is B, C.
From B,
B has
C is D.
it goes to D. Okay, from C, it goes to
C, E.
C.
E.
Okay. Okay, then
F has D.
D, E,
F.
F. Okay. Okay, and then we'll map it out using that. Okay. Okay, let's run through quickly.
5 there. 5 at F.
Five.
Okay.
6.
6.
Okay. 6 plus
9.
10 minus 1.
9.
9.
It's 9.
9.
Here.
10.
10.
10.
10 plus
10.
minus 1. 10 plus 6.
15.
Minus 1. 15. Okay. We cannot go through.
15.
Okay.
16.
6 there.
6.
Okay.
10.
10. Okay.
10.
10.
11.
11.
Yes.
13.
13.
Okay.
And
Okay. For activity F.
16.
16.
Okay. 16 plus 4 is 20. Minus 1.
And the
9.
19.
Yes. Okay.
19.
This activity.
19.
There's no choice. Okay.
16.
16.
Yes.
15.
15. 15. 15. 15.
Okay. Okay. This one here. For D. 15 minus
And
10.
6.
10. 10.
10.
Plus 1. 10.
10.
10.
Okay.
Mm.
10
9.
9.
9.
plus 1.
6.
Minus 1.
6.
6. Okay. Then you come here. 15 you said. Okay.
15.
Yeah.
12 plus 1.
12 plus 1.
13.
13.
13.
Okay. 13 plus 13 plus 1. 13 minus 1. It's 12.
12.
12.
12.
12. Okay. The next one.
12 minus
Isn't it?
7.
8.
8.
12 minus 5.
8.
8.
8.
Plus 1.
8.
Yes. Okay. And then the last one.
5.
5.
Yes.
5.
Okay. That's good. Okay. Now
There we go.
total float. Okay. That's the float.
0 for A. For A, 0.
0. Okay.
0.
For B, 0.
0.
B, 0.
2.
2.
E,
Okay.
2.
2.
D.
0.
0.
Okay. E.
Is 2.
3.
2.
Okay.
Two.
F.
0.
0.
0.
Okay. Which activities are on the critical path?
A.
A,
B.
A,
D.
B,
B,
D,
D,
F.
F.
D. F.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Why are these activities? How did you conclude that these activities are on the critical path?
Because the
Because
total float is 0.
total float is 0.
Okay. If the total float is 0, what does it mean?
Means the
Can't
Means you
delay.
cannot delay.
Cannot delay.
It means you cannot delay it without affecting the
The
Due-
Next
due date.
activity.
Yeah.
project completion
duration.
date, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Eh?
Okay. The free float for activity E. Activity E is this one.
It's 2.
You checked it.
2.
Yes. Okay. Good. You guys are mastering now. Okay. Last
Wow.
one. I think you guys did this. Did you do this in class?
Yes, we did in class, Dr. Moon.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so on this one, I have put it for you there already.
Yeah.
We just need to do what? We're just gonna do,
Total float.
yes, just calculate total float, then we find the path. Okay, let's run through activity H.
0.
Okay, I,
5.
okay, J, we're gonna start from the top going down like that. J,
0.
okay,
0.
okay, N,
5.
okay, O,
7.
5. 7.
okay, P,
10.
okay, K,
5.
yes, M,
0.
0.
okay, L, L,
20. Wait.
15, okay, S,
15. Yeah.
Yes. 30 minus 5 to minus 25. 20. It's 5.
5.
Okay. R. 25 minus
0.
25. 0. Okay. 38 minus 23. It's 15. Okay. U. 31 minus 26. 5. How much is it? Yeah. 5.
5.
0.
0.
0.
Can you see a trend already of the zeros? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
Okay, this one is 15. W.
4. Nope.
Okay. Okay.
5.
X.
5.
5.
0.
0.
Y.
0.
0.
Okay. And
And 0.
Z. 0 also.
Come on, 0.
So which activities are on the critical path?
H, J, M, R, V, X, Y, and Z.
Y. Z.
Yes, 100%. It's very simple, you see. So if you have mastered how to come up with the network diagram itself, you're actually 90% there already. You should be able to answer the rest of the questions. Okay, so activities. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let's look at the criticism about these network diagrams. So the first one is that they say all the work cannot be anticipated beforehand. Basically, if you're dealing with some complicated projects, you might have an idea of what activity to do, but you might not be able to put everything on the network diagram. It might become complicated. So you might not be able to put each and every single activity there. Because some of the things you might think it's simple to do, but then when you start doing it, you actually notice that, it's actually more complicated than that. Okay, so these are the criticism that they're giving. Okay, the other one is saying one can only plan in detail only the phase that will be next. Let's say the next phase that you're gonna do, because you have a bit of experience or you have a good idea now of what will happen next, you'll be in a better position to make a good plan than someone who is just saying that, no, we're gonna do the entire project, or this entire project, we're gonna re-engineer the whole thing. It's actually very easy to do that. But the person who has already started working on it will have a better idea, and he will be able to plan much better. So it goes in with planning also. Even when you're executing the project, you'll be revising your plan, remember? Because some of the things are changing. Because when you're carrying out a project, sometimes some of the things you thought it would work like this, or you made some assumptions in a specific way, but then as time goes on, you actually notice that, I should actually change this. Here, I should change this and this. This should change, then like that. You see? So for the next project, you have a better idea. That's what they are saying. The other one is saying, again, they were saying, one can break a difficult phase into sub-phases or create intermediate milestones. Like I said, for some of the activities, you might think it's simple, but then when you start doing it, you actually notice that, this thing is way complicated. So sometimes you might actually find yourself cutting down the project into sub-phases and creating intermediate milestones. It's because initially you actually undermined the project, or you thought the activity is just a simple one. Okay, and there's this one now. Network methods provided unrealistic due dates. So what do you think about that one? Thomas? Thomas, what do you think?
Around this, network methods provided unrealistic due dates. Is it a statement or is it a question?
Yeah, it's they are criticizing the network method.
Oh, I think so, because the dates are too planned ahead, like we're already at day 1, but we're planning 44 days later. So there are those inevitable things that happen within the process, I think.
Yes, yes. No, that's correct. There are things that are out of your control. You might not even think it will happen. And
Yeah,
sometimes,
you might not see it too far or too early in the project, and can only be seen when you're in within that phase of the project.
yes, that's correct. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, the whole was it someone saying something? At the end of the day, also,
Christine.
it's more about estimations, also, isn't it? When you're planning,
Mm.
you're gonna be like, no, the phase for crashing will crash maybe for just 2 days. Then something comes up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Then again,
The ball,
it means it becomes unrealistic sometimes.
the crusher break.
Yeah, you see. Okay. They are also saying that managers make commitments on due dates before any planning has been done. Have any one of you experienced this before?
Like someone is saying that you would do it at a specific date and then you didn't even start what? What is that what they're asking?
Yeah, something like that in that line. Let's say, okay, let me just give you a hint. Maybe like in my experience, what I've observed is that, let's say when you're in industry, sometimes when some of these projects are so exciting, that even let's say the CEO himself wants to know what the project or when you're going to finish it, just for example.
Mm.
Then the CEO, let's say the CEO asks the general manager when, let's say, just as an example for, let's say we are installing a PS Smith converter at Dundee. Now the CEO is asking the project, the general manager, when are they going to finish installing a new PS Smith converter? And then the general manager will just tell you that he will just tell the CEO that, no, you know what, this will just take you 2 weeks and we are done with the whole thing. We can actually put up a brand new PS Smith converter in 2 weeks. But then that manager did not consult you as a project manager or project engineer. You see.
Mm.
But then that project to install a PS Smith converter, maybe it will take 6 months. So now we have a problem because you have told the executives already at the top there. The CEO will
2
leave from
weeks.
there. That CEO will gonna tell shareholders that no, it will just take 2 weeks to install a new converter.
Mm.
Then it will even go to the investors, it go to chairman, all that, the entire board. Whoa, whoa. So now everything is going to come back to you now that, you are the project engineer. You guys promised that 2 weeks, you see.
2 weeks.
So sometimes it's best to actually just wait a bit, not rush into making any commitments. So the question is, what will you do in this case, maybe?
Yes, because they're saying the problem we shouldn't commit, but then we aren't the ones committing. How do we?
Yeah, it's someone else deciding for you.
Yeah.
Someone else has mentioned it. Someone of a high level, because they are asking that person, and then, sometimes these guys they just want to sound smart also and contribute. So maybe they can just give that. And sometimes what happens is that sometimes what happens is that they'll come back to you and tell you that, no man, Thomas, just make a plan, squeeze that network diagram and everything, squeeze it in 2 weeks and complete it. And then it's gonna affect the quality, all those constraints, you see.
The guy probably doesn't know what the converter looks like even.
Exactly, you see. Sometimes those people at the very top, sometimes let's say a general manager can even be someone who did mining, or someone who did
Economics,
an accountant can also be a general manager there.
Come on, mining.
Then it's
So what are you trying to say about mining?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just
They are
managing.
minus.
Yeah, you see. Or it can even be you. You can be the general manager, but the project that we're working on is installing a dewatering system, automating it.
Oh, yeah.
Then you are not well versed with automation and how long it will take. You see? So that's why it's
Call
very important to
proper.
communicate. Yeah, I think he can just go back and tell them that no, you know what, I earlier told you that the project will be completed by when, but by the look of things, we have done further investigations into it, but it looks like it will take long, something like that.
So, but what if you're a proud manager and he's not the type to want to do that? How do I do my job without compromising it?
How do you?
Do your job without it being compromised, seeing that your manager is not going to go back to the board. What if your manager goes like, no, I already made promises, you can't. Do I rush it, or do I now go to the board, or do I now go to the CEO, stuff like that?
Yeah, you can actually explain to him you can explain to him that, okay, you promised them 2 weeks, but I'm telling you this will take 6 months. Okay, here are I can actually do it. I can rush the process, but there will be some compromises involved. The quality will be affected. The costs will be affected. You list all those things. You tell him that this will might actually lead even to the project might actually
A failure.
See, there might be some risks involved. You're gonna have to overwork the people and all that. Safety is involved. All that, you highlight that to him. Normally, what they do is they write a note for the record just to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. You write a note for the record that I recommend we postpone. We do this in 6 weeks because of this and this and this and this and this. You write that. You send it to him, and then if he still
so just like an email, and then if anything comes up, then I have that email to prove it. Or what?
Yeah, because sometimes it can get worse. That no, just finish it. You don't seem to be competent enough anymore, Thomas. But you'll be like, no, I told you these are the risks involved.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those guys, they try to force, but things don't work like that. You need to protect yourself. Because sometimes they'll just be forcing. But nonetheless, I think it's best to tell them that they can actually go back to that manager, go back to the CEO, convince them that that was just a rough estimate, but the earliest the project can be finished is after 6 weeks. Okay, the other thing again, they say the problem results from commitments made. Okay, that's what we just went through again. Okay, again, they said like the critical chain method is a step forward in addressing unrealistic due dates. So what we are doing there, you are estimating for each step how long it will probably take. So the critical path method, it's a step towards that. It's just an improvement that has been made. Okay, and then they said also that the durations for the project networks are merely estimates. Yes, that is correct, like I said. There's no other way, because the whole thing you are just trying to estimate. It's like doing mental accounting, or you are trying to balance equations. That whole thing is it's an estimation. There might be issues with even with samples and all that, errors. So the whole thing is estimation, but you need to give an approximate estimate. And the last one is that during execution of the project, the plan might change. It's inevitable. Sometimes these things happen, especially if you are working on a project that you have never worked on. Some things can become just complicated, just like that. You did not see it coming, but it goes back to the planning phase also.
What sounds familiar?
Project is just becoming
Yeah, you get used to it, but then after some time, yeah, you might anticipate that. That's why sometimes when you are giving those estimates for the duration, you need to give some sort of contingency. Let's say you just add a few days, just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
A few days for control.
Yeah. Okay.
Precautions.
We come to the end of this lecture. The next lecture will be risk management and project control.
Yay.
Yeah, I think, is there perhaps any questions with regards to this?
Nothing.
Very clear.
Okay, I hope it was informative enough.
Very interesting.
Always.
Interesting, sir.
Oh, okay, now that's good to hear. Don't forget the notes. There's still a lot of reading that you can do. There's also some activity on slide 176. Yeah, just for you to relax.
176.
176.
Yes, there's an activity there, and then there's the rest of the notes somehow from another book, which is repeating some of the things that we have done already. If you can just continue reading those notes. So if you, I'm sure you have the notes, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I think that's your note also.
Yeah, these notes. I have just summarized just a few points from these notes, just to kickstart.
Yeah, those
Okay, other
notes
than
are a
that,
lot.
is there anything else perhaps that you guys would want to?
When is it this?
Serious questions.
Or the
When is
assignment
the first
rather?
assignment?
That one Prof will decide. I think maybe
2 weeks from now.
he did not discuss anything. You did not ask him anything about that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ah,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask him whether we can also submit the other assignment we did before lockdown.
Assignment, huh?
Hey,
Yes.
what?
Yeah, there was an
What?
assignment we did before lockdown.
Aye, 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 aye.
Recorded here, relax.
Okay, that's fine. I think maybe just keep yourself
Busy.
updated with these notes, so that maybe I'm sure
Busy.
there's some communication with about classes might be starting soon, especially
yeah.
as to practicals and all that.
Yeah,
COVID.
practicals.
Yeah, because even this can become a practical.
Oh, we.
Yeah, this is the activity I was talking about. You can just run through this whole thing. It's a good exercise also. You can just do the things we did.
Okay.
We did
Okay,
a lot.
other than
It
that,
has descriptions.
there?
I saw it has activity descriptions.
Yes, yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are good to go. I think we can end this session, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay, guys, enjoy your day. On Wednesday we have class, 9:30.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Have a nice day, sir.
Likewise.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
I'm gonna head out.
What time is the control?
It's now, Carl.
Oh,
It's soon.